Hello, gamers, and welcome back to Xbot and Pony. My name is Phil,
My name is Nick.
and for this week's discussion, we've been trying to think what the hell is Nintendo actually up to? Because they've been really quiet for months and months and months. Nick, do you have any wild conspiracy theories that you can share with us?
Um, they're all scared of COVID and lock themselves in their rooms, and they're not making games anymore.
You reckon?
I, I don't know. Maybe they're developing a brand new Switch console, and they're going to release it and announce it this year to come up against the new consoles and blow them out of the water. And it's going to be like a portable PS4 in our hands.
That's not really Nintendo style, though, is it? Let's
No,
be
no,
honest. They're not really up for raw power.
they're not. No, they're.
No.
Um,
But
I'm
you
not
have
sure.
raised an interesting point. Some people have been discussing this possibility that maybe COVID has affected Nintendo more than we think. They're a Japanese-based company, and the Japanese sort of work ethic isn't really set up for working from home. They were saying a lot of sort of Japanese workers don't even have internet at home, or they don't have their own devices and laptops at home. So being forced to work there has been quite tricky. But you would think that developers, people who are into their technology, probably would have that sort of stuff at home, wouldn't you?
You would think
Uh,
so, yeah. It's a
yeah.
bit strange. I know a couple of people I've spoken to in journalism, in the industry and been around for a while now. They said the same thing, that the Japanese just aren't equipped, and we're not expecting anything like this to hit.
Mm,
And working from home is very, very difficult.
yeah.
So, um, I guess American companies like Microsoft, Sony, and all that, they're saying how difficult it's been for them as well to adjust. And we can see, E3 should have been done and dusted by now, and we're going to be going well into August for E3. So,
Mm.
as much as they're not calling it E3, E3 has just been spread out from July to August, and we didn't really get a lot in June, to be honest. It was very much delayed for everyone. So, if you're a Japanese company, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of Japanese games announced until the last month, really,
Mhm.
and mainly the smaller games that don't require mocap or big audio, the anime style games that they don't require the big studio kind of stuff. They seem to be on track, but anything
Mm.
else seems to be getting pushed back. So
There you go.
hopefully it doesn't affect them for too much longer, but well, we'll just have to wait and see, I
Well,
guess.
so I want to run something by you, man, because what I've been thinking is because the alternative is that this was planned,
Yeah.
right? That 2020 was going to be a slow year for them anyway. Now, not to say they haven't had their successes. Obviously, Animal Crossing was
Oh,
enormous for
killing.
them.
Yeah,
They
killing.
absolutely killing it and still is. Like that, I don't know about you, but down our end here, certain stores will just say Animal Crossing order for the next delivery in August
Yes.
or whatever it is. So there's still people struggling to get hold of that game, and it's clearly done very, very well for them. Um, but if you think about it, that game was delayed. It was originally meant to be a 2019 game. So that tells me that for
Yes.
2020, the original plan was what?
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles, definitive edition, and Paper Mario for the next first 6 months,
Baku.
first seven. Like, so that's quite
Like that's
concerning.
nothing.
I
Yeah.
know, which either that means there's a couple of things going on. Either they intentionally took those few months to slow down because they knew that PS5 and obviously Xbox Series X
Yeah.
were coming, and that the second half would have to be killer. They would have to be able to bring their game. Or COVID really has just completely thrown their plans in the air.
Yeah, I can't imagine them not wanting to be a part of the picture. I mean, when Paper Mario got announced, Nintendo was trending on socials for a fair while there. Everyone was pretty happy with that announcement, and it was just a Twitter, YouTube announcement.
Mm,
And they have come out and said that Nintendo Directs are harder to do.
mm,
They might be taking a different approach with maybe because of the people that have left the company, with Reggie, Iwata passing. So the staples of those directs, maybe they need to change what they're doing. They haven't said they're going to get rid of them together, but
mm,
um, they need to maybe have a different approach. So I'm not sure what that means, but it's interesting. I think COVID has affected them. I think it really has. But
mm,
you think they'd be coming out of it now, and we should get some sort of news, even some sort of update, anything. I mean, Microsoft and Sony have been pretty pretty good with giving everybody some information of how COVID's affecting them and what's happening with their plans, and the messaging's been pretty clear, especially from Microsoft, with everything that's going on. So Nintendo seems to be the opposite end. They're not giving anybody any information about anything, really, which is strange, to be quiet. I mean, I don't think it'd be too hard to put out a press release and say, we're struggling at the moment, things are in the pipeline, we'll get back to you later in the year. That would probably put a lot of people's minds at ease as well. The Switch is selling really well.
It is, and that's the thing. Yeah, it seems odd that you wouldn't want to capitalize on that.
No.
I mean, the only thing other thing I can think of is maybe this is just a change in strategy. Obviously, like you said, we've got Doug Bowser, who's now in charge in Nintendo,
Yes.
right, of America anyway. And maybe their change of approach is that they are just going to announce things closer to the time, rather than having these big gaps. So Paper Mario was what, released in May? Oh, sorry, they announced it in May, I think it was, for a July release, 2 months before. Like, that's unusual. So I don't know, is that what we're starting to see? And like you said, when they dropped that on Twitter, it was a bomb that went off, and they got just as much coverage as if they'd done a Nintendo Direct. So is this actually a change of strategy? Is this what they're thinking?
Could be. Yeah, it could be. The socials could be a way of doing it. I don't think they won't have events. I'm sure they will have events. I don't think you could do Breath of the Wild 2 in August and release in October. I don't think it's too big a game to have a 2-month gap. Something like Paper Mario, something like Metroid Prime Trilogy, something like Mario Remaster, but your big Nintendo games, I don't think they can say we're launching Pokemon in 2 months and just have it. I think you need to have trailers. You need to promote these games and let everybody out there that, there's plenty of Switch owners that probably don't even have Twitter. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's Switch owners that don't use Twitter and don't use YouTube, because, as much as we are invested in this social media world, a lot of people are over it too. A lot of people are over the crap online and everything that comes with it and all the negativity. So a lot of people, and I know I check my friends list and they're just gone off Facebook. They're just not there anymore. So I've got to send them a text message and, I've shut it down. I'm over the crap. So how do you get your gaming news if you're not on socials? So, do you walk into EB Games and have a look? Like, I think those days are dead. I think those days are over, where it was exciting to go to the new game shop to see what was on the shelf is coming soon, before, we had internet and access to that kind of stuff. You can obviously go to your gaming websites, but if Nintendo aren't announcing anything, it's hard to get that news.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I think by the end of this month we will get something from them.
Well, I was going to say, so in your opinion, is 2020 salvageable for Nintendo? Right,
yes.
We're talking there's 5 months left of the year.
Yes.
PS5 and Xbox Series X are obviously going to dominate the news landscape.
They are.
Come October, November. Is Nintendo sitting out? Can they still be relevant for the rest of 2020?
With the information we have so far from Sony, we've said it before, they haven't delivered a knockout punch. I don't think, unless you're a Sony fan, we don't have pricing yet, but let's say it's pretty pricey. They haven't really said, you need to go and buy this. I don't think many people are going to be too happy when they find out Spider-Man is the only launch title, unless they announce more launch titles. I'm not saying they aren't going to. They probably will. But let's just say this is what we know now. A standalone game isn't enough to go and spend $1,000 on a console. If you're going to do it, you're already going to buy it anyway. Spider-Man doesn't matter. But, Jimmy that's 12, hey, Mum, I want Spider-Man Miles. Yeah, no problem, put it on your Christmas list. Oh, but I need a PS5 for it. Oh, really? Hang on. Whereas Microsoft, they don't really care if you buy a Series X, and they're pretty straightforward with that. Play our games on PC, play our games on Xbox One, buy our subscription services, buy the Series X when you're ready. They don't care. They haven't really, if you're not into Halo, is there a big reason for you to go buy a Series X when you can play the games on PC, play the games on your Xbox One anyway? Halo's coming to Xbox One.
So is that going to be Nintendo's strategy then? Are you thinking
going
to go, well, look, you don't need to buy a new console because this console's already out, it's cheaper, here are all the games that you can play on it, and hey, look, these are the games that are coming?
Well, personally, I don't think Sony and Microsoft have convinced everyone they need to buy these systems unless they were already going to buy these systems, because you have to buy and own the new console on day dot. I'm not convinced I need to own either system yet. This year. Obviously next year, different story. Christmas time, if a kid's got a Switch and they say, hey, here's Mario, here's Metroid, here's a Zelda remake, and they just have a few remakes and a few remasters that we know about, Metroid Prime, there's a lot of kids that have probably never played these games. So Nintendo probably can take the spotlight off Sony, off Microsoft. You know, a lot of people love Halo. They're going to go buy Halo. A lot of people love Spider-Man. They're going to play Spider-Man. But I don't think it's over for them. I think they can salvage it, but they have to do something soon. They need to get their name back in the picture, because at the moment it's just Xbox trending. Sony releases the box art. Sony's trending. Like it just doesn't stop. And Nintendo haven't done much. Even with their Treehouse event, everybody was disappointed. Everybody's disappointed with the new game they announced. Well, from Way Forward, so that's salvageable, but they need to do something soon.
They just need to talk. That's literally it. Most people will be excited by whatever they announce. They've just got to actually talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Why don't we have a separate video, mate, where we actually predict a few things, because the big rumor going around is that there is going to be a Nintendo Direct towards the end of the month, and who knows, maybe this could be the thing that saves them all.
Hopefully that rumor turns out true, and we get some good Nintendo gaming news. So we did get a tease in the Devolver Digital thing with No More Heroes 3 again. Standing there playing it, but he's standing in front of the TV as he plays it, so you can only see the side of the screen again. So pretty cheeky. I think that's a 2020 game. I think we'll see No More Heroes 3 this year, which is good. Gives us adult gamers something to play on the Switch as well as the typical Nintendo games. So I think there's stuff coming. I think it's going to be announced hopefully at the end of this month, and we can stop talking about PlayStation and Xbox and give Nintendo a bit of limelight as well.
Sounds good. All right. Well, what do you guys think? What is Nintendo actually up to? Is this all planned, or are they just really struggling with COVID-19? Maybe you've got your own conspiracy theories. Let us know below.
Let us know below, like and subscribe, and I'm hoping for Metroid Prime Trilogy. It's real and it's coming.
Yeah. Game Awards 2020 confirmed.
Confirmed. See you guys.
All right. Bye.